Here's a full YouTube video script tailored to your exact requirements, based on the video topic. Over 60. Drink TS daily to stop muscle cramps in 24 hours fast. This script assumes the video's focus is on explaining why muscle cramps occur in older adults, and what to drink daily to help reduce them, backed by current scientific understanding and practical advice. Did you know that up to 1 in 3 people over the age of 60 wake up at night with a crippling leg cramp that feels like a steel clamp tightening around your muscle? These sudden, painful contractions can ruin sleep, limit mobility, and make everyday life unpredictable and uncomfortable if you're over middle age. And while many people assume muscle cramps are just an unavoidable part of aging, that's not entirely true. What if I told you that there's one drink you can have daily that could dramatically reduce your cramps, maybe within just 24 hours, and that it's not a magic potion, it's not a fad supplement, and you don't need decades of expensive bottles to get it? Today we're diving deep into the science of muscle cramps in older adults, why they happen more often as we age, and exactly what you can drink every single day to help stop these cramps, helping you sleep better, move easier, and feel more comfortable in your body again. This isn't just another health tip. It's practical, evidence-based guidance you can start using tonight. Muscle cramps are sudden, involuntary, and intense contractions of your muscles. They often occur in your calves, thighs, and feet, especially at night or after physical activity, and they can strike without warning. As we get older, our muscles tend to tighten, our tendons shorten, and our nerve-muscle communication becomes more sensitive, all of which raises the risk of cramps. Older adults are significantly more likely to experience these painful spasms than younger people, and for many it becomes a recurring issue, rather than a one-off problem. Muscles need to contract and relax properly, and that depends on a delicate balance of nerve signals, hydration, electrolyte levels, and your overall metabolic health. When this balance is off, cramping becomes more likely. One of the most important contributors to muscle cramps, especially in older adults, is dehydration and electrolyte imbalance. As we age, our thirst sensation decreases, our kidneys conserve water less efficiently, and we often drink less than we should. Muscle tissue is highly dependent on fluids and electrolytes like sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium to function correctly, and even mild dehydration can upset that balance and lead to involuntary muscle spasms. Harvard Health notes that dehydration and electrolyte imbalances are common triggers for cramps, especially in middle-aged and older adults, who also tend to have greater sensitivity to fluid loss and reduced muscular resilience. Harvard Health. Now, here's where the drink daily part comes in. Your daily hydration is more than just water. Staying hydrated is essential, but a growing body of evidence and clinical advice suggests that beverages that provide electrolytes, the minerals your muscles need, can play a key role in preventing cramps. Electrolyte-rich drinks help replace the salts your body uses every time your muscles contract. When your muscles work, whether from walking, gardening, or just standing up and sitting down, they use energy and electrolytes. If you're low on these key minerals, your muscles can fire abnormally, tightening into painful cramps. That's why sports medicine experts and health practitioners often recommend electrolyte beverages for anyone prone to cramps. These drinks can help keep your sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium at levels that support normal muscle function. Good arcs. But before I tell you exactly which drink you should consider having every day, we need to clearly understand the why behind cramping in older adults. Muscle cramps are not just random pain. They are a signal that something in your body's internal environment, whether fluid balance, electrolyte levels, nerve, muscle communication, or metabolic stress, is out of balance. As we age, our muscles naturally lose some elasticity and strength, and the connections between nerves and muscle fibers can become less efficient. This means that even normal activities like standing up after sitting for a long time, climbing stairs, or walking out to the mailbox can increase the risk of cramps because those nerves and muscles are working harder than they used to. In addition, many older adults take medications, such as diuretics or statins, which can worsen cramps because they affect hydration or metabolic factors in the muscle. It's very common for people to think these cramps are just unavoidable, but in most cases they're not serious. So what happens if you don't address the root causes? Over time, frequent cramping can lead to avoidance of physical activity, which contributes to muscle weakening, poorer balance, and decreased overall mobility. It becomes a vicious cycle: cramp, avoid movement, lose strength, and then have more cramps. But there's good news: you can break that cycle by proactively addressing the physiological causes. One of the easiest ways to do that is through your daily hydration strategy, designed specifically to support muscle health and electrolyte balance. Now let's talk about the drink that can make a real difference when incorporated into your daily routine. I'm not talking about sugary sports drinks loaded with artificial ingredients. I'm talking about natural coconut water, the clear fluid inside young green coconuts, that's rich in potassium and other electrolytes your muscles crave. Coconut water contains significantly more potassium than most commercial sports drinks and provides a balanced profile of electrolytes that help support normal nerve and muscle function. GoodRx health experts explain that coconut water is a natural, electrolyte-rich beverage that contains more potassium than many sports drinks, making it particularly good at helping maintain electrolyte balance that supports muscle relaxation. GoodRx. Potassium is especially important because it plays a key role in transmitting electrical signals between your nerves and your muscles. If potassium levels are low, the signals that tell your muscle fibers to relax can be disrupted, leading to prolonged or painful contractions, in other words, cramps. Coconut water also contains sodium, magnesium, and calcium, which further support muscle and nerve function. When you drink a glass of coconut water daily, you're helping your body maintain the electrolyte levels necessary for healthy muscle regulation, reducing the likelihood of cramps, particularly nocturnal cramps that wake you up in the middle of the night. But let's make this practical. You might wonder, do I still need to drink plain water if I'm drinking coconut water daily? The answer is absolutely yes. Plain water is essential for overall hydration because it helps maintain blood volume and supports every metabolic process in your body. Coconut water complements your water intake by providing the minerals your muscles need. Think of plain water as the foundation of hydration, and coconut water as the targeted support that fills in the gaps, especially for muscle cramp prevention. Now, you might be thinking, is just coconut water enough? Or are there other drinks I might consider? That's a great question. For acute cramp prevention, or for days when you are more active, an electrolyte beverage that includes sodium, potassium, magnesium, and calcium can provide additional support. Drinks like oral rehydration solutions, and even sports hydration mixes without added sugars, give your body the full suite of electrolytes that muscle function depends on. The key point is that your daily hydration should go beyond water alone if cramps are a frequent problem. Let's dig deeper into how exactly this works physiologically. Electrolytes are electrically charged minerals that facilitate nerve impulses and muscle contractions. Every time a nerve sends a signal to a muscle, it does so by moving electrolytes like potassium and sodium in and out of cells. This movement creates tiny electrical currents that tell the muscle to contract and relax. If you're low on electrolytes, the signals can become erratic or overly intense, leading to involuntary muscle contractions that we feel as cramps. This is why electrolytes are so integral to muscle health. They literally control the language of muscle movement. Beyond just what you drink, it's also important to consider when you drink it. Having an electrolyte-rich beverage early in the day or around periods of physical activity helps ensure your muscles have what they need before stress hits. If you're prone to night cramps, it can also be helpful to have a smaller serving in the evening to top up your electrolytes before sleep, especially if you've had a long, active day. This approach helps keep your internal balance stable so that your muscles are less likely to misfire during periods of rest. But there's more to cramps than just fluids and electrolytes. Nutrition plays a role too. Foods rich in potassium, like bananas, sweet potatoes, spinach, and beans, can support your daily electrolyte balance in a very natural way. Pairing a balanced diet with your hydration strategy amplifies the benefits and gives your muscles the fuel they need to function well. Stretching and light strengthening exercises, especially for your lower legs, also improve circulation and reduce the likelihood of cramps by enhancing muscle flexibility and nerve health. At this point, you might be wondering about other home remedies you've heard of, like pickle juice, tart cherry juice, or magnesium supplements. These have their merits. Pickle juice, for example, may help relieve cramping quickly through a neuromuscular reflex triggered by its vinegar and sodium, though the research is still evolving and doses need to be used cautiously because of high sodium content. Very well health. Magnesium supplements can be helpful if a deficiency is part of your issue. But you should check with a healthcare provider before starting any new supplement, especially if you take medications or have health conditions. What I want you to take away from this is that muscle cramps are not a normal, unavoidable consequence of aging. They have causes that can be understood and addressed. And one of the biggest impacts you can make with a simple daily habit is adjusting your hydration strategy to include electrolyte support, especially through a daily drink like coconut water or similar electrolyte-rich beverages. When combined with water, a balanced diet, and gentle physical activity, this creates a powerful approach to reducing cramps, often within just a short period of time, sometimes in 24 hours or less. Imagine waking up after a full night's sleep without that stabbing calf cramp interrupting your rest. Imagine being able to take a walk or climb stairs without bracing for that sudden muscle spasm. Imagine feeling confident in your body again rather than afraid of everyday movements. That's what intentional hydration and electrolyte balance can help you achieve, because your body is not broken. It just needs the right support. So here's the bottom line. Drink plenty of plain water every day to stay hydrated. Add an electrolyte-rich drink like coconut water daily, especially if you're over 60 or prone to cramps. Consider an electrolyte supplement around activity. Eat foods rich in potassium and magnesium. And don't ignore persistent cramps that interfere with your quality of life, because there are targeted strategies that can help. If you found this information valuable, Make sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and let me know in the comments what topic you want to see next. With the right approach, you can take control of your muscle health. Stay active and live without the fear of painful cramps holding you back.